Okay, guys. Now, again, listen. We are going to start where I left off, and that way I'll have them all done. All right. So I want everybody to take a look at 54. 54 is just kind of like a review problem. All right. And again, all right, I was pretty happy with the tests. All right. Some of you just made some mistakes that you just have to correct. So today we're going to be, it's called factoring completely, which just basically means you factor out the GCF and then you factor out the quadratic. All right. So in this one, this is just an old problem here. So you factor out the what? You factor out the x plus 3, and then you're left with f plus 4. Shh, you're talking too much. All right. So now what's the problem? Aiden, what? I'm asking you, 54, is there a problem? You good? Thank you. So now let's do 56. Now, as you recall, all right, it is not x minus f and then f minus x. So we just have to, yeah, you're just taking the factoring out a -1. This becomes a +2. And then this becomes now x minus f. All right. So as we're factoring that, we know it just factors 2. X minus f times 3x plus 2. All right, now, finally, 58. Let's take a look at that real quick. What? All right, 58, GCF. There's a common 4, all right? So because we know there's a common 4, we're going to write down 4, open parentheses, and then what would be left? X squared minus 9. That is correct. Then you're looking at the x squared minus 9, and you're saying, that's what we did last week, is just factoring that. All right? So you leave the 4 out, and then x squared minus 9 factors to what? You are amazing. That's perfect. Thank you, Harrison. Exactly correct. 4 times x minus 3 times x plus 3. All right, so essentially what you're doing is just factoring twice sometimes. First thing is, rule number 1, always look for the GCF. All right, so now let's try 57. So what's common? X. So everybody writes down x, and then you're just factoring out, and you end up with that is exactly correct. Okay, now you're looking at x squared minus 2x minus 24. X and x is correct. Factors of 24 that are 2. 6 and 4. And we want the 6 to be, and the 4 to be, there you go. Anybody have any issues? All right, 59. What's common? 2x, correct? And then 3x squared minus 2x minus 1. Now you're factoring that. And that becomes so it's going to be 3x what? I don't think so. Isn't it going to be 3x plus 1 and minus 1? Because remember, if you're thinking this is 1 minus 3, which gives me the -2. Everybody okay with that? Well, technically we say we're factoring out the GCF first. Factoring out the GCF first. All right. All right, 60 now. 60 you can highlight. That's kind of a new problem. All right. So what does that factor to? Someone tell me. Good. So what is it? Yay, x squared minus 1 and x squared minus 9. Anybody have an issue with that? Now, the next thing is to look at x squared minus 1. That definitely can factor. That will factor to what? Good. X minus 1, x plus 1. Then what you can do is you can look at x squared minus 9. What does that factor to? Say it. That is exactly right. X minus 3, x plus 3. What?
How do you get the factors in x squared minus 1?
Negative 1x squared and negative 9x squared is negative 10x squared. Right? What? For some people, not for us. All right? Because we want the right answer, not the wrong answer. Some people like the wrong answer. Evidenced by your test.
What do you mean? I got a 91 too. You should have given for good credit. Well, too bad.
All right. 60, well, let's just 61. What am I doing on 61? What? James, what am I factoring? 3. Oh. I'm ignoring you, Michaela. X squared plus 4xy plus 4y squared. All right. Now, how does that factor? How does that factor? Michaela, I'm hearing you now. Shh, guys. 80 problems. We got work to do. What does that factor to? Lucas.
X plus 2y squared.
Yes. So we're going to put x plus 2y, x plus 2y first. And then you're going to go ahead and write x, or 3 times x plus 2y squared. Now, again, for those of you guys who are just still wondering, again, there's 2xy and 2xy, which makes the 4xy. Okay? All right. What am I doing on 62? Factoring out the what? Y squared. All right, factoring out a y squared, what's left behind?
X squared minus x minus 1.
Perfect. And now what? Very good. -5 and +4. Anybody have any issues? All right, now we're going down the page. 65, we're doing the third column now. All right, what's common? Say it again. 7x. Then what? Then what? Perfect. Okay. All right, now how are we factoring 2x squared minus x minus 6? I don't think so. That would make me wrong. Because again, you're just looking. All right, now x to the fourth minus 1. So what is it? What is it? X squared plus 1, x squared minus 1. Now what? Does the x squared plus 1 factor? No. X squared plus 1 does not factor because of the plus 1. All right? There's no way for the middle term to be 0 if the last is positive. All right? However, can x squared minus 1 factor? Yes, because it's minus 1, which will allow the middle term to cancel. So your final answer is just x squared plus 1, and then what? Right. X minus 1, x plus 1. All right, does anybody have any issues with that? Any issues? All right, 71. GCF. 4. And what's left behind? Okay, does that factor now? What part? This was the last test. So this is like really easy because you made an A on the test or an A minus. So you think back to Friday, and how did you do that? You should be able to look at it and tell me the answer. Right, so what is it, Aiden? Go. How do I get 3x squared? Come on, it's embarrassing.
3x times 1x.
Good. Factors of 4. So I'm going to put a 2 here and a 2 here. How much is this?
2x.
Which makes, if they're both positive. I don't know what you're asking me. Are you being sarcastic or do you understand this?
I understand. I just did it a different way. My bad. I didn't show all this word.
Okay. 74. What do we got? X squared plus 4 and then what? What, Eric?
What?
Somebody help him.
Hey, come on, Eric. Sure, Eric. Eric, look. Did he say?
All right.
Or wait, wait,
Number, hold on. Which one?
the one we just did, why can't you just choose the one you want?
Because 4 and 1 would not make 0. Okay, number 11. Number 11. Number 77 has a common what?
11.
Yeah, common 11. So you're left with and then plus what? And then what do we got? And then, okay, I'm pretty happy with that. All right, 80 is factoring by what? Yeah, we say factoring by grouping. So the first group we factor out of what? And I'm left with, and on the second group I factor out a -4, which gives me perfect. Okay, and so now, right now, of course, that's where we would end last week, but this week we now know that x squared minus 4 can factor to what? And, yep. Here we go. Anybody have any questions with number 80? Easy, right? All right, 83, x to the 4th minus 81. All right, and then what else can factor? Anybody have any issues with that? All right, so now, just for some of you guys who keep talking when I'm trying to ignore you, all right, I think the best thing to do now is everybody try 63 through 82. So you have those problems, 2, 4, 6, 7, 14 problems. Knock out 63 through 82. That's your homework. When you come to class, I'm just going to say, show me those last 2 columns. That's your homework. All right. Now, then tomorrow, we're just going to do what? Yeah, we're going to do 1 through whatever we left off. The whole page is due on Thursday. All right. The whole page is going to be due on Thursday. All right. Anybody have any questions? All right. Now, again, honestly, you should be getting super fast at it. All right. You should be getting fast.
I did this correctly, right? This part?
Which one?
83.
Well, we already did 83.
I know, but do I have to add all
Yes.
this?
What are you doing? Get to work. Stop complaining about the work. Learn it. Then you wouldn't have to be sitting here struggling. But you'd rather yakety yak than be quiet and learn the material. That's what the problem is. This is mental math. It should be done simple, quick, fast, and you're done. But you never listened. So now you're struggling.